Hello. Hello. I'm really struggling to get everything correct. Um, it's just a lot of effort, all this filming and chatting shit. SHIT. I keep getting shadow banned, so I'm gonna spell out all of the dark stuff, I guess, or sweary words. Yeah, it's so annoying getting shadow banned because you're like, I'm just talking the truth. These are evil men that own this stuff. Also, before I forget, I need to just check out my cool outfit. It's fucking awesome. And it's the age of the fire horse, and I didn't even know when I got this. This is quite like a West African, they got really great prints there, like handmade prints. And yeah, it just reminded me of that. I got it in London in like a Afro clothes shop. Afro? I don't know what those are called actually. But yeah, that kind of style. And then this, I don't know, I got this probably charity shop. I don't really do, well, I definitely don't do fast fashion, but I like just go to charity shops, and I haven't actually changed my clothes in like 10 years. I've just had the same coolness. Anyway, yeah, and then I did some haunting eyes, appropriate for today's topic. But I mean, but also they just look great, don't they? So mad how big are my glasses make my eyes. It's so weird. Anyway, but I'm used to it as well. Da, 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 da. Also, yeah, I'm just gonna spiel out loud what I think, but often I lose my train of thought because there's so much going on that I can't finish my point often. But let's just ride the wave of unconventional communication and see where we get to. I promise it'll be even further than normal, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, so I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't know. I feel like it's all just interesting patterns, and it's interesting. Right. Cool. Rose quartz orange. Oh my god, this is mad because this is also relevant. It's a little display of synchronicity going on. But I mean, the eyes was deliberate, but not so much this. So this is a crystal that helps you with SEXUALLY. No, I always say that wrong. Spell that wrong. I'm dyslexic, so the spelling out thing is less than ideal. I'm always like, And also, this is such an awkward word. Sorry, I just realised. So yeah, SEX UAL. Oh no, that is right. LY. And this bit is not good. Yeah, and then assaulted. Should I spell that out? God, I don't know. This algorithm is pissing me off so bad. Anyway, this is this heals that kind of thing and helps heal that kind of thing. And also other kind of gender related violence, like gender based violence or domestic violence. So henceforth I will refer to those things as DA or SA because I don't really like talking about it, and obviously this algorithm is going to be annoying. So anyway, this is what that helps with, which is interesting because this is what I'm going to talk about today. Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it? It was handmade by one of my friends who's no longer with us, very sadly. And she was very magical and a witch and men like mad, and also a survivor. So yeah. Yeah, so today I just wanted to talk about, I don't really know how to frame this, living in a world as a survivor, but also as a survivor with the kind of world we have and the kind of stories and the kind of horrors of the mainstream PRADATOR class. It's just really interesting. You get quite triggered, obviously. You just get quite triggered because SA and DA is in the news, it's in the politics, it's in the way we do policy and colonization, and you're witnessing it in real time around you and in your groups as well, and with the people around you. All these dynamics are just, yeah, it's just a lot. And by that I mean yeah. So I'm a survivor of, I've said, DA and SA. The SA was yeah, the R word at least once, and then SA at least 4 times, and each of those times that was with my friends, my male friends, who I trusted and thought they were my homies, and I had a really unusual approach to it because I'm autistic and I'm very direct, so I basically directly dealt with most of it with most of them. So I like spoke to them about it and like sat down in like a pub and like went through it with another person and someone else. Like I spoke to him because he's also in one of my other friendship groups to this day. To this day, I was like in a pub and then he walked in and I was like, I'm going for a cigarette. I really shouldn't smoke anymore, but I was like, I am owed at least a cigarette right now. Yeah. And then he was outside having a cigarette. Oh my god, because obviously he went through the same thing. That's another thing. Anyway, no, I need to get back to the points as well. Yeah, but also SA is actually quite complex. Like it's complex, and that's why you need to talk about it as well, because it's just it needs to be the cards need to be on the table, okay? And like yeah, with a lot of communities, I guess, and like with people, like people don't really talk about that kind of thing if it happens. There's unfortunate like things that friends do as well, like they put the PREA, oh god, PREDATOR that I'm now gonna call, no, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, god, this is so complicated already. Preds, I'm gonna call them the Preds. Yeah. So yeah, even like if you know like the Pred's friends and you're all friends, then lots of people just prioritize the Pred because they're a man and like they trust men more, and also like it's weird. It's almost like, okay, maybe that happened, but this is still more important, or this is still as important, or I empathize with the man like in that situation, and it's just like, yeah, it's really interesting because like some people do believe you, but then you just feel at least like very disbelieved and like you're going crazy and like yeah, what I'm trying to say is people prioritize men in that situation. That just happens over and over and over again. Our culture is built for it. Our culture does have a grave culture. That is what it's partially designed for. And now we know partially why as well, like with yeah, the super dark parts of what the Pred class do. But anyway, like that, I think they make it into our norms and create these social norms that mean that it's kind of normal. And like, yeah, another thing that they do, and that happens in culture with gender, is like the survivor is like disbelieved, but also like humiliated, like disregarded, disposable, like in the sense that we're considered like no longer pure and like kind of dirtied and like sullied and kind of something that you can like kill or like eliminate, or like something that you can disrespect and look down on because it's less human as well. And so there's this like big shame about being a survivor and talking about it, but I've just never, well, I have felt that and I do still feel that. That would be a lie to say I don't, because I've always talked about it directly or off. Well, actually first, yeah, there's lots of different memories. Sorry, it's just a lot to like communicate about even. But let's just get an example, like one. Yeah, I guess I should probably say the main point of what I'm saying is that like I am totally not surprised that the victims and the survivors' names in the files were public. A lot of them were not covered up by the like black ink, but like the Preds were. That is so normal. It's just so normal. Like everyone just prioritizes the people that are doing the bad stuff normally, and yes, it's a bit more nuanced and complex arguably when it's your friendship groups that I'll talk about in a second, but that's still a pattern that exists, and therefore we need to design a culture that does the opposite of that pattern, which is prioritize survivors, listen to survivors, believe all of the survivors that you come across, even if one of them is actually lying, which is a really over-exaggerated story and super sexist and patriarchal, and also super sexist and patriarchal. God, I really don't want to spell it out. But you know what I mean. God, that was a good point, but then my brain is like, my hair. This is too long. I usually sort this out. Anyway, what am I talking about? Intense stuff as usual. Ugh, so much labor. Please pay me for my labor. I need it because of my medical bills. Yeah. Well, honestly though, if you do appreciate my labor and storytelling and information that I give and share, and maybe things I've taught you if I have done. I do have a donation page where I'm raising funds for my community for my medical appointments. So yeah, please do donate if you can. No pressure. And if you like my poetry or want to contribute to it, or feel free to do that as well. But anyway, support survivors and support vulnerable people, because we fucking need it. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, so that reminds me, oh my god, that like everyone's prioritizing the man or the pred, which is usually a man. Sometimes not. I've also, I've been through difficult things with femmes and trans people too. But it's usually a man. But also like the lying about survivors, like only like 0.3% or like 3%, I can't remember, but it's so low percent of people lie when they're talking about SA. Like when it goes through like the police and the courts and stuff, that is so minimal that even if we believed every single survivor naturally, like yes, some of them would be inaccurate, but it's so low that it's almost like it still matters. But do you know what I mean? Like you're still statistically more accurate with that kind of culture. That makes more sense than the opposite, doesn't it? Where it's wrong because the men did do stuff. But there is something else. But it's like really hard to articulate. But I'm gonna try it. So, yes, communication is hard. God damn it! God damn it! It's gone. It's gonna come back. I need to stop swearing because I don't know. I'm getting paranoid that my content's being monitored. But it's okay. I don't really care too much. As long as you don't kill me, it's fine. Let's agree on that now. Don't kill anyone, in fact. I love dancehall now. Oh my god, it's so good. But it was like a real journey to learn to love it, but it's so good now. I do. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So this is quite hard, but like I think like when you're a survivor in a senior friendship group, sometimes it's like you can see that someone doesn't actually mean to harm you, but like the culture has told them to do so, and that's normal. So then you get into this weird state when you're a survivor sometimes of being like, oh, but I do kind of like, I feel for this person. Like I know that they've like really messed me up and kind of shattered my soul, because that's what SA really is, and that's why it's so kind of evil, is because it like it penetrates your soul and it kind of like messes your soul up, and even probably like actually in a spiritual sense, like your soul does often get shattered and like goes away because it's like, F this is too much, I'm not dealing with this, and like go somewhere else. So yeah, it's like it's a real problem, obviously, but like one of the most sacred, like most messed up sacredly problems. So it's like one of the most important problems, right, in the whole globe. And yeah, so it's like this weird area of like friendship and survivor stuff where you get into these, like if you've dealt it like I have, like talking to a lot of them, which obviously takes some guts. Like I think I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. Like yeah, it's like it's just quite a weird experience because I still get like super triggered when I see them and I kind of go a bit mad, but like I'm kind of like used to it. But I did like properly go proper mad, like with one instance where I had like a psychotic episode. I was on loads of like psychedelics and acid and drugs, drugs, which I was also taking a lot because I was so stressed because I was in these situations and I had been brought up with DA, and I was like, I can't deal with this. I'm autistic and I'm like falling apart physically. Loads of pain. I'm like, oh my god, this is too much. Yeah, like autistic and ADHD and dyslexic and mental. So yeah, but like it's quite it's just quite weird. And I have like, as in like to be friends or like to be in that kind of circle of people. So yeah, so anyway, I have like properly hung out with people that have done that to me knowingly and just been like, it's okay, just put up with this, and like just like really squash down my feelings. And like one example is this guy called T, let's call him, this Pred. He was like, yeah, we were both like not sober as well, which I really don't think helped. But yeah, he like R-worded me, and it wasn't like super severe or anything. Like I wasn't like hit, or like when you hear stories, like I would say on the scale, it's not really a scale, but you know, it wasn't actually. It's like it's so, you know, it's like a medium to like, I don't know. The point is, I got off lightly, but that kind of still messed me up. I know, I feel like it sounds a bit wild that I'm saying that I got off lightly, but anyway, I'm just saying like how sacred it is and how wrong it is, and also how I can't even imagine what a lot of these survivors in the Epstein files have been through, and obviously many of them not survived as well. Yeah, yeah, and like anyway, so I basically came to terms with the fact that this person had raped me after some time. Like at first I didn't really recognize it, but then I was like getting quite mentally unwell, and then I went to like a SLUT walk in London, and where you basically are protesting against SA and SA culture. I just started like crying and like crying like in front of this speech, like when this person was giving the speech about SA, and I was like, I had no idea why. Like that's what's so wild about it. It's like I had no idea why, but my body was listening to this speech about SA and like really resonating with it, and like just going like, yeah. And then my friends were like quite worried about me, and they were like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Yeah. So yeah, and that's how I kind of figured it out basically, because my memory just kept going back to T and going back to D, who's like this other guy. I'll just call them by their names, like Tom and Dave. No one's gonna know them now, and like, you know, who cares? They're never gonna watch this. Like, I'm gonna put myself first. That's the thing. Like, I put myself first in the discussion about survivor predator pred stuff. Because you gotta, the whole system is geared towards you being like disintegrated and hurt for the rest of your life, and probably go mad and maybe commit the S word if it gets really super bad. Like that's basically what this stuff does to you, or can do to you. Yeah. So yeah, so me and T. Okay, so I was like, oh, this is normal, and then I was like, oh no, it's not, it's grape. And then I was like, figured out after that protest and realizing that that had happened to me and that that was wrong. And then I ended up like telling all my friends because I was like trying to get support, but obviously some of my friends were friends with him and his friends. So like it was quite awkward, but I broke up friends with him, and then my housemate went out with his housemate, and then it was kind of like he was like reintroduced and re-accepted into my friendship group. Before, like no one, like she didn't ask me if that was okay, and that's my first lesson of like, this is not as important as him and these men and my relationships. And that is so true. Like you can see time and time again with these stories that that is prioritized and protected, and you are gunned for, and you are discredited, you are disrespected, you are kind of framed as someone that you can't believe. That's deliberate by the culture and by the people in power who does this stuff all the time to people way younger than me, basically from birth, it sounds like. Like that is a deliberate culture choice, and like a way to teach us about that and to be subordinate to SA and DA, you know. Anyway, yeah, it's just so interesting and obviously so messed up, and also messed up that she did that. But it's just very illustrative of what happens. Like I basically went proper mad because I was like spending time with him, and then I was getting triggered while spending time with him. So a lot of the time I like didn't make any sense, like when I was talking to people, because I was so triggered that I was like, I obviously looked quite like mad. Yeah, yeah, it's just lots of stuff that yeah, it's difficult. And then I had an actual psychotic episode afterwards, and that was really interesting, but I'll talk about that another day. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I was like, I need to stop. Like I can't actually, like I'm going to self-destruct if this continues. I remember talking to this SA therapist specialist, so it's really good to get specialists to help if you have been affected by these things. And I was like, oh, I've got to like hang out with him, and I've got to like, you know, be there for him as a friend, and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, no, you don't. And I was like, no, I don't. Oh yeah, but that wasn't taught in the culture, you know. Yeah, and then like there was this other really horrible time when my other friend Milo, was it Milo? God, I can't remember. He was my friend though, but I've just got a bad memory. It was a long time ago. Yeah, we had like seen each other a bit, but like I made it clear I wasn't interested in him in this period, and also like I was polyamory as well, and I was like interested in other people at that time. And yeah, I was up for being friends with him. To be fair, like it's not super clear. I think there's a part of this stuff where it's like communication as well. Like there's consent confusion as well that can be instead of or in addition to SA. So sometimes I've thought it was SA, but it's actually consent confusion, which is another thing. But with this guy, like, no. I was very clear that I wasn't up for it, and I kept being like no to him. And he was like, it was at a party, and he was like, it's a scary story, but this is kind of thing that kind of people deal with. Yeah, he was like much bigger than me guy, and I was at this house party in full view of everyone. He was like coming up to me and like kind of pushing my face into his face and like kissing me like when I didn't want to. And yeah, it was awful, and it was in front of everyone. I kept being like shouting at him and like telling him off, but no one like did anything or like batted an eyelid, or but no one was like, oh, now just shouting at someone, well, maybe I should do something or get involved or like help them. If I saw that, that's the thing, like I have seen that like 2 carriages down on the, I can't remember what it's called, but that like train like thing, tram in London, DLR, whatever. Anyway, and like no one helped them for ages. And obviously when you got in that situation, when there's like a man and a woman fighting, like I would always intervene and protect the women, because statistically they need more protection than the dude. Doesn't mean that the dude could be right about the situation, but it's not, you just have to act as according to the system that you're given. So anyway, yeah, I just walked straight down these 2 cabs, and I was like, what is going on? And I like stood in between them in front of her and was like, leave her alone, like you need to give her space, because she was accusing him of like the R word and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's not true, but that's not the point. Like statistically it is probably true. And anyway, so no one intervened, and that's another thing, like people just ignoring it as well, or like accepting DA or like SA or those kind of associated behaviors is like normal. Anyway, and then yeah, it got to the point where I was like hiding in rooms. I was like hiding in the dark in this room because I was like so freaked out, because he kept calling my name. He was like screaming my name in this house, like looking for me. It was absolutely terrifying. And he came in this room and he was like, oh, there you are, and like pushed me down and like kissed me, and like and I was like, no, get off me. And then this good person, like other guy came in the room and obviously thought it was like an actual romantic interaction, and then was like, oh, sorry, and closed the door. So it was complete darkness, and I was like, this is absolutely horrific. Anyway, finally got off him, like managed to get out, and like and then I like saw one of my guy friends. Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Anyway, I saw one of my guy friends, and I was like, Ewan, could you please help me? I'm like, Milo's just like screaming and like chasing me basically, and I need your help. And he was like, okay, let's go in this room. Lock me in this room. And then I was just knackered on the bed, just like, oh, like this, like fucking hell. And then he comes onto me in the fucking bedroom, and I'm like, oh my god. And at that point I was like, fuck it, whatever. But like, you know, I wouldn't have wanted that. Like, if I had a choice, I wouldn't have chosen that. Yeah. So that is kind of another one, which is not funny, but it's like whatever. It wasn't like it was fine. It's fine. I just I don't know. It's weird, man. So yeah, so that wasn't great. And I kind of relied on this person for safety now, so I kind of just stuck around in that room. Yeah, just for the next few days because I was just freaked out and scared. And yeah, and it was kind of framed as like, oh, this person's got this person, like, Ewan's got with me, that's so cool, which is like nice of them in a way because they weren't aware of the whole context. But yeah, it just felt very much like I was like a trophy, and like also that I couldn't talk about what happened. Like I was like outside crying at one point, like in the middle of the first guy Milo stuff, um and this lady was outside and she was like, "Are you okay?" But she said it in a way that was like, "Oh, I have to do this," kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's just very normal and normalized but ignored. But I've never been okay with that, so I've always talked about it. And yeah, yeah, I just think it's quite healthy to talk about it. It is what happened. It's something to do with me. That's why I don't feel like ashamed about it because I'm like, well, that's nothing to do with me, mate. Like, it's just that I'm vulnerable. Like that stuff happens a lot to vulnerable people. Yeah, it's not because like whether or not someone's conventionally attractive or not. It's based on their vulnerability levels, really, a lot of the time. And that's another thing, like it tells us about how to like organize society and structure society, which should be prioritizing vulnerable people, protecting them first, building ways of protecting whistleblowers of every kind. Like whistleblowers are some of the most endangered people and at risk people, and they need actual structures that we build as a community to protect those people. Sorry, I'm just getting so annoyed. We basically need an anarchist feminist army. Yeah. Yeah. And like, but the powers that be won't let us do that. And they'll do everything in their power to stop that from happening. Yeah. But I don't want to KILL myself, just so we're all clear. Even though I'm sure I'm not on their list, but who knows what could happen. Which is weird because the CIA, no, you can't spell that one out because it's already spelled out. They unclassified documents about like the nature of reality. They say that we do win in the end. How exciting! It's just a question of when. And these kind of techniques and these kind of tips that I'm giving you, or whatever that you probably know already, you probably know what I'm talking about. These help speed it up. So let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna listen to my music again. I just love listening to music and singing. It's just the best. I mean, I had loads more things to say, really, but it's a lot. Like, I have to do it carefully, and yeah. And I just, don't chat about me, please. Please, this is interesting. This is useful. Ugh. Anyway. So frustrating. That's another thing. Like, we need to create our own social media. We need to create, if we're going to have social media, it needs to be community-led, grassroots, not millionaire, billionaire corporations, corpo kind of BS. And then we need to make sure that never happens. And then like, that's what we need to do. And then we'll be fine. And also we need to get off our phones more. But yeah, so like, I'm not surprised that the people in power are doing that stuff. Well, I actually am surprised if I'm honest, but like, it's worse than I thought. But it's like weird, isn't it? Because people knew how bad Trump was in many respects. Like there was like I haven't looked into it loads, but I know there was like legal cases against him. I'm sure a lot of them had like been officially closed as like, yes, he's guilty, like, and paid like maybe lots of money been exchanged. But like everyone knew he did horrible stuff to women and femme people before. So like, what do you expect? Like, of course he would do that. Like, he seems someone that is versed in hurting people. Yeah, yeah. It is a battle of good and evil, and we're gonna win. And it's just gonna take a lot of labor. Yeah, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of stuff. And like, the people that are survivors and the vulnerable people, they need the most help and support in a community. And that's another thing that's really interesting, is like, the more privilege you have, and if you have done bad, difficult stuff, because we all have done bad stuff, like, you were even more, you were in debt to people, and you need to help, and you need to like use your privilege for good, and you need to like help create a sustainable feminist like world where we help each other and we're there for each other and we can self-sustain without these evil prick RICKS. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Anyway, there's so much more to say, but I can't. It's just so much. But I hope this has been interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna listen to music. I definitely need to make music. That's what I need to do. Need to make music, listen to music, dance to music.